paper, this Audi RS5 should be up there competing with the likes of the C63, the M3, M4 and the Giulia Quadrifoglio. But after some poor sales figures and Audi's decision to now produce the RS5 from next year as a plug-in hybrid electric estate, it's somewhat become a bit of the forgotten RS. Now, we're here to find out whether that's a bit of an unfair title and whether this is actually a little bit of a hidden gem. Now, let's talk some numbers. Under the bonnet, we have got the same 2.9 litre twin turbo V6 that we find in the RS4. Now, that produces a quite staggering 444 brake horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. Well, that's pretty darn quick. And now if we take a look at some of the performance figures, well, 0 to 62 comes in around 3.9 seconds, and well, top speed is limited to 155 in this carbon black edition, but if you sprung for the Vorsprung edition, then you'll get the upper 174 mile an hour limit. Now, all of that power is sent to all four wheels, as you would expect with the Quattro system, and that's done via a 8-speed ZF auto gearbox. Now, I'm going to be a little bit harsh here, but exciting to drive, this is not. Unfortunately, while you've got staggering amount of straight line performance, it's a real point and go weapon. This, you just plant your foot down and away you go, pretty much drama free. The wheels, the tires have plenty of grip. The chassis is not really overworked, but in all honesty, that's where the issues arise, is with the chassis, because in a car that weighs 1,800 kilos, you really can feel it in the corners. It doesn't hide its weight well. It feels really soft on the edges. And with that, a lot of body roll, not a lot of confidence, and almost zero feedback through the wheel. The thing is, when you're in this class, those are the things that the BMW M3 and M4 does so well. The C63 does it as well, and the Giulia also is a real fun car to drive. But in this car, there's no drama, and you'd have to be doing some really silly things to start going to sideways in this. Now, Audi did try and rectify this car by introducing the competition, and we drove the RS4 competition variant not too long ago on this channel. But Audi UK decided that for the RS5 they wouldn't bring the competition to this market, and as a result we don't get those upgrades that the RS4 really benefited from. So what we've got here is essentially what Audi released to us back in 2017-18. Not much has changed since then. They claimed it was agile and energetic between corners, but unfortunately from where I'm sat, the front end just doesn't want to chuck in, and you see how much I'm rolling in the seats here. Now, another complaint I have is the seats, unfortunately. Now, they are supremely comfy, don't get me wrong, and they look fantastic, but they're geared more towards that GT cruising lifestyle. Well, this car does that well, and I'll get on to the qualities in a moment, but right now, when you're pressing on, you want a seat that's very supportive, that you can stay in place and not be thrown about a bit. But when you show this a corner, I feel almost like I'm leaving the seat slightly, which doesn't inspire much confidence, let's put it that way. Now, I want to move on to some of the qualities, because I have had a bit of a moan about the whole driving experience in here. Now, if I just tone everything down and put it into auto and comfort mode, and treat this car as the car I would use every single day. Now, we start looking at the car like that, this starts to make a whole lot of sense. It's comfy. It has some body roll, but that allows for some extra comfort when you're going over some of these badly surfaced roads. And this auto gearbox, while it's quick to up change, it's quite efficient in terms of when it's working with the engine. Although it is frustrating in its lower settings that when you do want to overtake, it has a little panic about what gear it needs to be in, and then if you press the throttle even further, we'll kick down 3 or 4 gears, and suddenly you're off down the road when you really only wanted a little bit of acceleration to get yourself going. Elsewhere in this cabin, it is a lovely place to sit, and well, this carbon black edition has these extra finishes here where you've got carbon fibre pretty much everywhere you'd like. It is a lovely car to drive day to day. This car has also got a few optional extras. We've got the Bang & Olufsen 3D surround speakers, which are fantastic. The RS Sports exhaust system is an optional extra for this car. It comes in at around £1,200, and it certainly adds a bit more drama to the occasion. It's mainly burbles and those little pops. Now in this spec, with this carbon black edition, we get the 20-inch wheels, and this is finished in a Scary blue, which is also an option extra paint. The carbon black edition means you get a lot of carbon trim on the exterior too. You get the splitter finished in carbon, as well as the side sills and the rear diffuser also finished in carbon, with some decals elsewhere finished in carbon too. Of course, all your switchgear in here, with it being an Audi and with it costing around £86,000, as you'd expect, everything is finished nicely. I'd like to say that it wasn't for the person who enjoyed attacking a B road, it was the person who did a lot of miles but wanted a lot of power at the same time. Now, it's probably geared more towards those German customers. Of course, with the Autobahn, this will cruise at 140, 150 miles an hour with no issue all day long. But you will be drinking quite a bit of fuel at that rate. I did a long run on this just on the previous weekend. I did about 160 miles, and I averaged about 33, 34 miles per gallon, which isn't the best considering the Porsche 911 I drove just a few weeks ago was returning almost 40 mpg. This is a big engine, this is a big car, it's a very heavy car, so you can forgive it. On the topic of practicalities, it is worth mentioning that it is a very big car with a huge boot, plenty of space for loads of weekend bags, your shopping. It's a proper family car with proper seats at the back. Of course, this is a sport back, so you've got the 5-door option with a proper hatchback style boot. Elsewhere on this particular car, we've also got a head-up display, which of course you can't see. That's a £1,000 option, and for me, I don't need it. I find myself looking at the dials more often because Audi's nailed this virtual cockpit that he likes to call, with your sat nav and everything else you could possibly need in front of you. Now, I drove the RS3 a couple of years back, and that for me is one of the best RSs that Audi has produced in recent years, and it's kind of let its hair down a bit. It's introduced that drift mode, it's got more power going to the rear wheels, and as a result, it's a far more exciting car to drive. It puts this one to shame, and for the money, that car was roughly 60, 70,000 pounds, and given this one is 87, I would elect to just go for an RS3 saloon, because you get practicality still. Okay, it's not quite as big as this and doesn't offer quite the amount of space that you get in this. For performance and fun, and an engine that sounds phenomenal, okay, suffers a little bit with turbo lag, but on the whole, it is a fantastic thing to drive, the RS3. And certainly much better than this RS5, unfortunately. Now, given Audi fitted this car with a 0 to 60 mile an hour acceleration test feature, we thought we'd try it out. I managed a solid 3.7 seconds on what is a slightly greasy day, on warm tyres. Sadly though, when you come to the corners, again, you don't have any confidence in the brakes because you've got a really spongy pedal that's not progressive or providing consistent feel. It's frustrating because I know Audi can do far better. For a car that looks and performs as well as it does day to day, it just really lacks on the exciting level. It's a very grown-up, mature car, and if you love driving, this isn't the car for you. So on paper, it should be competing with the likes of the C63 and the Giulia, but in reality, it's not even in the same league. I'm sorry, Audi, this one's not for me.